JJ McCarthy won a national championship at Michigan. He went 27-1 as a starter in college. He completed 72% of his passes in his final season. He was drafted 10th overall. And yet, nobody's talking about him heading into 2025. While Caleb Williams gets magazine covers and Drake May gets highlight packages on SportsCenter, McCarthy might as well be invisible. The Vikings quarterback is being treated like a career backup, not a first-round pick who's shown flashes of brilliance. What the hell happened to JJ McCarthy? Or more accurately, why is everyone sleeping on what's about to happen? Before we start, if you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe to the channel. Now let's dive in. Let's rewind to where this all started. Ann Arbor, Michigan. McCarthy wasn't just good at Michigan, he was historically good. His 27-1 record as a starter is the best winning percentage by any quarterback in Michigan history with at least 20 starts. Better than Tom Brady, better than Jim Harbaugh, and better than Chad Henn. In his final season, he threw for 2,991 yards, 22 touchdowns, and just 4 interceptions while completing 72.3% of his passes. He capped it off with a national championship, outdueling Heisman finalist Michael Penix Jr. in the process. But here's where the narrative started to go sideways. Instead of celebrating McCarthy's efficiency and winning pedigree, analysts labeled him as a game manager and a system quarterback. Knock was that he didn't put up gaudy passing numbers in Michigan's run-heavy offense. Never mind that when McCarthy did throw, he was lethal. His 10.0 yards per attempt ranked 4th in the country, and his 93.1 QBR ranked 3rd. The pre-draft process didn't help. At the Combine, all eyes were on Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jaden Daniels. McCarthy was the forgotten man, despite measuring 6 feet 2 inches, 219 pounds, and showing off a live arm in throwing drills. His interviews were reportedly outstanding, with teams raving about his football IQ and leadership qualities. But that doesn't make for sexy headlines. On draft night, the Vikings traded up to select McCarthy 10th overall. It was higher than many mock drafts had him going, but still, he was the 4th quarterback taken. The narrative was set. Williams, May, and Daniels were the prizes. McCarthy was the consolation. His rookie season has only reinforced this perception. While the Vikings signed Sam Darnold to a 1-year, $10 million deal to be the bridge quarterback, the expectation was that McCarthy would take over at some point during the season. That obviously did not happen. JJ McCarthy got hurt in training camp from a torn meniscus that required surgery. This was a season-ending surgery that ended his campaign before it began. But here's the thing. Everyone is dead wrong about JJ McCarthy. The league is sleeping on a quarterback who's poised to explode in 2025, and I'm about to show you why. First, let's address the system quarterback label. Yes, Michigan ran the ball a lot. Yes, McCarthy wasn't asked to throw 40 times a game. But when you look deeper at the numbers, a different picture emerges. According to Pro Football Focus, McCarthy had the highest grade on throws beyond 20 yards among all draft-eligible quarterbacks in 2023. His adjusted completion percentage on deep throws was 57.8%, which ranked 2nd nationally. In other words, when Michigan did ask him to push the ball downfield, he was elite. The low volume wasn't because he couldn't throw, it was because Michigan didn't need him to throw more. They were blowing teams out with their dominant running game. When the games got tight, like the college football playoff semifinal against Alabama, McCarthy delivered, throwing for 221 yards and 3 touchdowns against one of the best defenses in the country. The game manager label doesn't hold up to scrutiny either. Game managers don't make the throws McCarthy made in the biggest moments. They don't throw no-look passes across their body for touchdowns in the national championship game. They don't consistently hit tight window throws on 3rd down to keep drives alive. McCarthy did all of that and more. But what about his rookie season? His injury was a blessing in disguise. Instead, putting pressure by throwing McCarthy out in the fire, on the sideline, he had a year to learn the system, see and learn the speed of the NFL game, and develop the intellectual side of the game. It's the same approach the Chiefs took with Patrick Mahomes, who sat behind Alex Smith for a full season before taking over and winning MVP in his first year as a starter, minus the injury, of course. Heck, Aaron Rodgers had to wait 3 years before becoming the full-time starter. There are claims that star receiver Justin Jefferson has been very impressed of McCarthy by the throws he is making in practice, the way he can change arm angles and still deliver a strike. It could be Jefferson being a great teammate and looking out for this quarterback. But with Jefferson being one of the top receivers in the league, his word has a lot of weight. Tight end TJ Hawkinson also mentioned in an interview that McCarthy reminds him a lot like Matthew Stafford and a little of Kirk Cousins. Hawkinson played with Stafford and Cowens for about 2 seasons. Kirk Cousins is okay, but to compare McCarthy to Stafford, sure, the Vikings fan would love that. The physical tools have never been in question. McCarthy has a live arm that can make every throw in the book. His deep ball is a thing of beauty. Tight spiral, perfect arc, extremely catchable. He's athletic enough to extend plays and pick up first downs with his legs when needed. At 6 feet 2 inches, 219 pounds, he has the size to withstand NFL punishment, but it's the intangibles that truly set McCarthy apart. This is a quarterback who's been preparing for the NFL since he was 12 years old, working with renowned quarterback coach Greg Holcomb. His work ethic is legendary. First one in the building, last one to leave. He's obsessive about film study, often texting coaches at midnight with questions about defensive coverages he's spotted. His leadership qualities are off the charts too. At Michigan, he was a 2-time captain who commanded respect from day one. Teammates gravitated toward him naturally. He has that rare ability to elevate everyone around him, to make others believe they're capable of more than they thought possible. That's not something you can teach. The football IQ is elite as well. McCarthy has been calling protections and making pre-snap adjustments since high school. At Michigan, he had full autonomy to change plays at the line of scrimmage, rare for a college quarterback in a Jim Harbaugh system. Vikings coaches have been blown away by how quickly he's absorbed their complex offense. Now, let's talk about the situation McCarthy is walking into for 2025, because this is where things get really interesting. The Vikings have assembled one of the best supporting casts in the NFL for a young quarterback. Justin Jefferson is arguably the best receiver in football. In just 5 seasons, he's already amassed 7,432 receiving yards and 40 touchdowns. He's a route-running savant who creates separation against any coverage. Having a security blanket like Jefferson is invaluable for a young quarterback. Jordan Addison showed tremendous promise as the number 2 receiver, catching 133 passes for 1,786 yards and 19 touchdowns in 2 seasons. He's the perfect complement to Jefferson, a smooth route runner with excellent hands who can exploit single coverage when defenses double Jefferson. The Vikings also bought back Adam Thielen to the receiving group. Thielen, who was once a star receiver with the Vikings, can still be a reliable receiver for McCarthy. TJ Hawkinson, when healthy, is one of the top tight ends in the league. His hands and route running is among the elite tight ends in the league. In the 2024 season, he missed almost the first half of the season while trying to regain his from a horrific knee injury. Trying to regain his form from a horrific injury, with additional year under his belt from the injury, he is expected to be back to his pre-injury form for the 2025 season, giving McCarthy a reliable target over the middle. The running game is in good hands with Aaron Jones, who's been a model of consistency throughout his career. Even at 30 years old, he's shown no signs of slowing down, rushing for 1,138 yards and 5 touchdowns this season, while averaging 4.5 yards per carry. A strong running game takes pressure off a young quarterback and sets up play-action passes, which were a staple of McCarthy's success at Michigan. The Vikings brought in Jordan Mason, who is younger and a more power running back. Jones and Mason will be a great 1-2 punch for the running back. The offensive line has been solidified. Tackle Christian Darrisaw is developing into one of the best in the league at his position. The Vikings signed Will Fries and Ryan Kelly as free agents to bolster the line. They also used their first-round pick on Ohio State Donovan Jackson, who provides versatility by having to play both guard and tackle positions. The line does need time to gel as a unit, but the new additions via free agency and the draft, along with the existing talent, the offense line looks to be much improved and solid from previous seasons. Most importantly, McCarthy has the perfect coach to maximize his talents in Kevin O'Connell. A former quarterback himself, O'Connell has shown a gift for designing quarterback-friendly offenses that emphasize high-percentage throws and explosive play-action passes. His system is similar to what Sean McVay runs in Los Angeles and what Kyle Shanahan runs in San Francisco, offenses that have turned good quarterbacks into great ones. O'Connell has already tailored parts of the offense to McCarthy's strengths. They've incorporated more movement passes and designed quarterback runs, elements that weren't part of the offense with Kirk Cousins, but were staples of McCarthy's success at Michigan. The coach-quarterback fit couldn't be better. So what does all this mean for McCarthy's 2025 outlook? I'm predicting a breakout season that will make everyone wonder how they slept on him for so long. Statistically, I see McCarthy throwing for around 3,800 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions while completing 67% of his passes. Those aren't record-breaking numbers, but they're remarkably similar to what Justin Herbert produced in his rookie season. 4,336 yards, 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 66.6% completion. Add in 400 to 500 rushing yards and 4 to 5 rushing touchdowns, and you're looking at a top 12 quarterback in fantasy football and a legitimate Offensive Player of the Year candidate in real life. More importantly, I see the Vikings winning 10 to 11 games and making the playoffs. McCarthy's ability to push the ball downfield will open up the entire offense. Jefferson could have a career year. Addison could emerge as a legitimate WR1 in his own right. Hawkinson could return to Pro Bowl form. The running game will be more efficient with defenses forced to respect the deep ball. Long-term, McCarthy has the potential to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. His skill set, the arm talent, the mobility, the processing speed, the leadership, is reminiscent of a young Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't have Rodgers' otherworldly arm, but he's more athletic and arguably more advanced mentally at the same stage of his career. The comparison to Rodgers isn't just physical. Like Rodgers, McCarthy is fueled by perceived slights. He remembers every criticism, every doubter, every analyst who called him a system quarterback or questioned his ceiling. He uses it as motivation, storing it away and channeling it into his preparation. That chip on his shoulder could be the final ingredient that pushes him from good to great. Now, let's address the skeptics. There are legitimate questions about McCarthy's game. His sample size at Michigan was relatively small, just 699 pass attempts over 3 seasons. He occasionally struggled with accuracy on intermediate throws, particularly over the middle. He sometimes held the ball too long, resulting in unnecessary sacks. But these are fixable issues, and by all accounts, he's been working tirelessly to address them. The year of development has been crucial. He's had time to refine his mechanics, improve his footwork, and adjust to NFL speed without the pressure of having to perform immediately. The Vikings' approach with McCarthy has been patient and methodical. They haven't rushed him. They haven't set unrealistic expectations. They've given him the time and space to develop at his own pace. It's the same approach that worked wonders for Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and many other great quarterbacks who didn't start right away. Like McCarthy, he sat for most of his rookie season behind a veteran, Alex Smith. Like McCarthy, he was joining a team with elite offensive weapons, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and an innovative offensive coach, Andy Reid. We all know what happened next with Mahomes. I'm not saying McCarthy will win MVP in his first year as a starter. That would be an unfair expectation. But I am saying he has the potential to make a similar leap, to go from afterthought to superstar in the span of 1 season. The league is sleeping on JJ McCarthy because they're looking at the wrong things. They're looking at his college stats without context. They're looking at his lack of playing time as a rookie without understanding the Vikings' long-term plan. They're looking at the flashier quarterbacks from his draft class without appreciating the substance behind McCarthy's game. But the smart observers, the ones who look beyond the surface, see what's coming. They see a quarterback with elite physical tools, exceptional intangibles, and the perfect situation to succeed. They see a player who's been methodically prepared for this moment his entire life. They see the next great NFL quarterback hiding in plain sight. So while the rest of the league sleeps on JJ McCarthy, the Vikings are about to reap the rewards of their patience and foresight. The 2025 season will be McCarthy's coming out party, the moment when everyone realizes what Michigan fans have known all along: this kid is special. The quarterback who went 27-1 in college, who won a national championship, who was drafted 10th overall, is about to remind everyone why he deserves to be mentioned alongside Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jaden Daniels as the future of the quarterback position in the NFL. The league is sleeping on JJ McCarthy, but not for much longer. The alarm is about to go off, and when it does, the rest of the NFL better be ready. What do you think? Is McCarthy poised for a breakout in 2025, or am I overrating his potential? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.